All right, welcome to Gen AI Lab 8/16/32 Ozark Outdoor Adventures Balance Sheet Analysis. What we'll be working on is understanding the components of a balance sheet, how to interpret financial ratios, and help accountants and managers assess a company's liquidity and solvency. In this lab, students will use ChatGPT to calculate and interpret financial ratios for a fictional company, Ozark Outdoor Adventures. The question we're asking today is, what is the quick debt to equity and cash ratios of our Ozark Outdoor Adventure, and what do these ratios tell us about the company's financial position? Before we get started, we have some required tools we need to execute this lab. First rule or requirement is to upload the Excel file for Ozark Outdoor. So what I'll do here is I'll navigate to this file, and I will click on the Gen AI lab that we need, press download. Perfect, we have that all set now. And I'm also going to download the instruction sheet or open it into a new tab. Perfect, this will allow us to be able to copy and paste the prompts directly into ChatGPT. And then the second requirement is the use of ChatGPT or Copilot to calculate the quick ratio, the debt to equity ratio, and the cash ratio. The third requirement is to use a bar chart that will include the financial ratios in it. And the fourth will complete the multiple choice and free response questions at the end. All right, so let's get into this lab. First prompt we're going to ask ChatGPT today is to start a new conversation to give us a new slate to work with. Perfect. The second prompt we're going to ask is to upload the Excel file that's titled Gen AI 8/16/32 Lab Data. And then I'm going to press this plus button, and I'm going to go to our most recent download of the lab. Perfect. Now, the third prompt we have, it's a pretty lengthy prompt, but it will answer everything we need to know about Ozark's quick ratio. The prompt is, calculate the quick ratio and provide the formula. Tell me if the ratio is liquidity or a solvency ratio, and provide an accounting-related definition of a quick ratio and what does it measure? What is the expected ranges of a financially stable company's quick ratio, and what is considered weak or a strong quick ratio? Kind of a lot to unpack there. So the reason why we originally have the instructions open on our tab is so we're able to copy this really long prompt by double clicking, pressing copy, and right clicking, paste right into ChatGPT. Perfect. It gives us, for this prompt, we're able to have the quick ratio formula, pulling the numbers straight from our Excel file using the quick assets in the current liabilities, and we come up with a quick ratio of 3.33, and it tells us it is a liquidity ratio, measures the short-term financial strength of a company's ability to pay its bills due within a year, and the accounting definition is a liquidity ratio that measures the company's ability to meet its short-term obligations only using its most liquid assets. And what does a quick ratio measure? A company's ability to instantly cover its current liabilities and expected. And here are the ranges of quick ratios. So we are definitely on the higher side, extremely strong liquidity. The company can easily cover its short-term position, potential sign for underutilized assets. Overall, we look very healthy in our quick ratio. Let's move on to our fourth prompt, which is calculate the debt to equity ratio and provide the formula. Tell me if the ratio is a liquidity or solvency ratio, and provide an accounting related definition of a debt to equity ratio and what does it measure. What are the expected ranges of a financially stable company's debt to equity ratio, and what is considered a weak or strong debt to equity ratio? That being said, I'm going to head over to the instruction sheet. Once again, right click, copy, right click again, paste right into the ChatGPT toolbar, search bar. And with this, we should be able to get our debt to equity ratio, the definition, what it tells us about the company, and that does exactly that. We get the formula, get our numbers straight from our Excel sheet. We come up with a debt to equity ratio of 0.3. And with this prompt, we're able to know that it's a solvency ratio. Uh, what does the debt to equity ratio measure? The long-term financial leverage. And we have some ranges of the debt to equity ratio indicating that we are right at the middle mark, where we're on the weaker side, or the very we're on the very strong side. Perfect. Now let's move on to our all right. Now let's move on to prompt number 6, which is asking us, what do the ratios indicate about Ozark Outdoors Adventures' overall financial position? We're going to just copy and paste the prompt right into our tool chart, press enter. Gives us that we're extremely strong liquidity position with a strong cash ratio as well as a quick ratio. We have a low financial risk, excellent solvency. Um, Ozark uses a little more debt relative to equity, stronger solvency, low long-term financial risk. Ozark is financially stable, conservative. So the overall picture is, putting all the ratios together, Ozark is in an exceptionally strong financial position. Perfect. Now let's move on to our 7th prompt, which is create a bar chart illustrating the quick, cash, and debt to equity ratio. Label the x-axis as ratios and the y-axis as values, with y-axis increments increasing by 0.5. And make the bar chart so I can download it. Perfect. I'm going to copy that right into ChatGPT. Perfect. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT if they can save the bar chart in a PNG file titled GenAI 81632 Lab. Awesome. I'm going to click this. Now I'm able to download it, and we'll be able to see easily, as you can tell, the bar chart right there. And then the last prompt I'll be asking is, now put all the prompts that you used into a Word doc titled GenAI Lab prompts. I'm going to use my instruction sheet, go to here, enter. Awesome. Now I can download this Word doc. And we're not done quite yet. My last ask for you is to insert your complete bar chart showing the quick, cash, and debt to equity ratios in a Word document titled GenAI 81632 Lab doc. Label this section as Submission 1 Bar Chart visualization. Next, I want you to include all the ChatGPT prompts 1 through 8 from your lab workflow in the same document. Label this section Submission to and title it Gen AI Prompts Used. The last thing I want you to do is to respond to all the multiple choice and open response questions based off your ratio analysis of Ozark Outdoor Adventures, and be sure to explain your reasoning clearly and in complete sentences. That's it for this lab. Thank y'all for being a part of this. Y'all have a great night.